and welcome back to my channel, Boozy Bookish Thoughts. I'm Justine, or Jay if you prefer, and welcome to my new video. So today we are doing another wine and book pairing. Yay! I am so glad to be back to doing this series. The last time I did this, I posted about a Malbec that I was really enjoying, but honestly, that was not a healthy drinking. That was not displaying healthy drinking habits. So anyway, we tried to be responsible and said, be responsible in your drinking, kids. And anyway, so we are featuring our first rosé on the channel, and that is Tall Horse Wine, South Africa, Pinotage Rosé. That's the label. They call it Tall Horse, but it's a giraffe. I just noticed that. It's a giraffe. Which, incidentally, in the King Arthur story, one of the King Arthur stories, there is the questing beast, which one of the characters, Sir Pellinore, was trying to find, or King Pellinore was trying to find the questing beast. And they give this really elaborate description, but, like modern scholars think it's like medieval folk trying to describe a giraffe. So anyway, tangent, ND info dump. It is a Pinotage Rosé. Now, Pinotage is like one of the well-known wines of South Africa, as far as I know. And it says here, a pink African sunset with a canter of crushed wild strawberry and raspberry aromas that migrate to succulent summerberry flavors with a long fruity finish. Now, it is best served chilled, except I have been drinking and filming for a few hours now, so it is no longer cold. But ideally, it is served chilled. Now, it is 12.5% alcohol, and it is made in Western Cape, South Africa. It is a screw-top bottle. Okay, so let's see how it looks in the glass. So as you can see, I've been drinking it. And I have been advertising this in like my past videos. It's just that I'm filming it all at once. As you can tell, because I wear the same outfit. I should change, but you all know I'm filming it at the same time. So it is very, it's like a peachy pink. Obviously my light is distorting it, but in the glass here, for me, it's a very peachy pink, closer to peach than pink. It is very fruity in the glass, in the aroma, and when you sip it, it's very light and refreshing, especially when it's chilled. When it's chilled, it feels so light on your tongue, and it feels just like such a refreshing drink. I will admit though that the back of the bottle talks about wild strawberry, raspberry, summer berries. Honestly, the taste that comes up more for me is apple. This tastes a bit more apple-y than berry-y to me. But I'm not a professional taster. What do I know? But personally, as an end user, I taste apple juice more than, not apple juice in a bad way. I taste apples more than berries. So it does taste, but I mean, are you complaining about apples? Apples taste amazing, especially like crisp, tart apples. So apples, very tart. It's a little sweet, but also a little tart. It's light, refreshing, and again, we're going for a vibe here. So the vibe I'm getting from this is summer with your friends. And I imagine this isn't a summer where you're like, I want to say beach with your friends, but not necessarily beach. It's not the beach that's the key. The key is the friends and the intimacy. So the key here is the feeling of being in a warm, sunny place, or being in a happy, relaxed, light environment, like on vacation, but with friends. And I mean this genuinely. I'm not talking about those thrillers where you're all frenemies and secretly trying to murder each other. No. I'm talking about genuine friends and genuine people who you enjoy being with. And this is the drink you want to be drinking with them. Like, I know in my last video, it was a dark, medium-bodied, almost heavy-bodied Malbec, and we were talking about, like, people trying to outwit each other, trying to take advantage of each other. This is the complete opposite. This is the wine you want to drink with friends, with people you trust, with people who are your found family, you know. And it's not so much about being ride or die, but it's about enjoying a carefree summer in a place where you can be your authentic self. That sounds so much deeper than I meant it to, but that's the vibe I get with this wine. And I know I try and come up with 3 books every time I pair a wine and a book, but unfortunately this was kind of specific. And I know, as if my other wines aren't specific, as if my other scenarios aren't specific, but this was a little extra specific, and I only got 2. And both of these I've read. There's potentially a third that I will mention as like an honorable mention, but I haven't finished reading it, so I can't guarantee how happy and light it is versus serious. So with the 2 that are for sure, the first is the Love at First by Kate Claiborne, who is one of my favorite romance authors, if not my favorite romance author. This is one of my favorite romance books. It is not set on a beach. It's set in Chicago, which is like a city. Well, although I've always wanted to go to Chicago. It's one of my dream destinations, but mostly because of all the pop culture that I like that comes from there. But oh gosh, what was I saying? Working memory, great. It's set in Chicago. Kate Claiborne. Love at First. It is a story about this girl who lives in this apartment building with a bunch of like older people, and then one of the other tenants dies and leaves the apartment to his nephew, who wants to sell or rent out the apartment. And it's like super disruptive to this small little building community that they have, this little found family that they have. And then the young woman and the man are like having a little one-upping contest. Like they're trying to constantly, so there is a bit of like strategic one-upping. So it starts out as being enemies to lovers, which I wasn't amazed by. Like, it's not my favorite trope. I've seen it done well, but I'm not hyped by it. But like, it starts out seemingly that way, but then it just becomes a story about 2 people working through their emotional baggage individually in order to become the people that they need to be to have a relationship with each other. And it shows, for me, obviously it has the faults of communication that all romance books do. Like, you're always kind of like, just talk about it. But in this case, I felt like there was enough characterization to justify their reticence. There was enough headcanon, there was enough characterization for you to understand why they were not being as honest as they should be in an ideal world. And the thing is that they had a lot of emotional baggage, but they didn't leave it on the other person to heal it or fix it. They fixed themselves in order to become the people that the other person deserved. And the thing is, both of them needed to do this. It wasn't one-sided. It wasn't just like someone who is perfect and then they fix the other person. No, sorry. Both of them had things that they needed to work through in order to be healthy, emotionally healthy for the relationship. And I think, I don't know if this is a spoilery review, but personally, I love seeing that in romance novels. I love seeing people putting in emotional labor and putting in the emotional work to become a healthy person in order to be fit for a relationship. And it's kind of like, you're not doing it for the person, you're doing it for yourself, but at the same time you're inspired by this person, and you want to be your best self for this person. So it's a great book. It's a great romance. I feel like it's a very, obviously they do this kind of work, they do this emotional work in a very condensed timeline, when obviously in the real world it would probably take much longer. But you don't want to read a book that's like 500 pages long either. So there is still some suspension of disbelief, but I feel like it's a lot more realistic portrayal of romance, and I feel like it's a lot more sympathetic. Therefore, the characters are therefore a lot more sympathetic, and they are not archetypes, they are real people. And I just really enjoyed this book. So Love at First by Kate Claiborne. She's one of my favorite romance authors. I've only read 2 books by her, but I am confident in saying she's one of my favorite authors. She's great. And this book is great. And relating it to this wine, it is very intimate. Most of the story takes place within the building that is this little found family of like mostly elderly people who have grown old in this building, and it's about their relationships with each other and with these 2 young people almost as much as it is about the 2 young people's relationships. So it's a very intimate setting, and it is with people that you really trust. It revolves around people who really trust each other. And obviously it's about learning to trust new people and all that, but it's an intimate setting. It's not like a party go setting. And in terms of the season, it spans quite a long time, I think. So at least part of it takes place during spring and summer, but I think it does go into fall and winter. So it's a bit of a long spanning book, but it still fits this wine, which is like intimate and friendly and being authentic to yourself. So the second book is a little different. Mostly I'm picking it because of the setting, but to hear me out. And this is the Althea Rose mystery series. I've only read the first one. I don't remember the title of the first one. I have the box set, and so I only know it as the Althea Rose One Tequila book set by Trisha O'Malley. And it's a cozy mystery. It's a cozy paranormal mystery. And it's about a psychic. She's psychic. Who has a shop with her best friend who's a witch, a white witch. And they live in a Florida town, a town in the Florida Keys, and it's bright, it's sunny, it's tropical. She goes scuba diving with her hot best friend, and they have a bartender friend who's gay, and who owns a tiki bar, and they are just living the life. But then obviously a dead body shows up, and they get drawn into the investigation. The best friend gets accused of murder, and she needs to investigate and prove her innocence. It's not the most thought-provoking book, but it's bright, it's sunny, the interactions of the characters are very lovable, and you feel the vibes of a found family. And overall, it is great. It's intimate, it's sunny, it's beachy. And as much as I raved about the first book, I have not as much to say about this one, but I do have to say that it's just perfect for a beach read with your friends. And I mean true friends, not people you just party with. So, people you would do a murder investigation for. How many friends do you have that are like that? Me, I don't know. Anyway, so those are the two books I came up with for Tall Horse Pinotage Rosé. The honorary mention is You, Me, and the Colors of Life. I forget who the author is. I'll put the author here along with the book cover. You, Me, and the Colors of Life. It is a German book, and it is set in Germany. But it starts with a guy who's trying to unalive himself. And a girl stops him, and they have a moment, not a romantic moment, just like a human moment, but I understand it will develop into a romance eventually. But it seems to be kind of light and carefree and about building trust and intimacy. But I don't know how happy the ending is compared to the rest of the book, considering it starts out pretty dark. I started this, but I didn't finish it. It's on the unfinished list, and I will update you once I've read it, hopefully soon, but I make no promises. And I will not take this book off of the potentially to be paired with other books, with other wines, list. That is an honorable mention. It's something, if you have read that book, You, Me, and the Colors of Life, leave a comment down below and tell me if you think that matches the vibe I described this wine. So that's it. That's our wine and book pairing. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next video. Leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Do people say that? Anyway, I've been filming tonight, the whole night. I'm getting camera tired. I love you guys. So, cheers.